day to all of you. Today, our theme is Tools to Boost Research Productivity. I warmly welcome all of you to today's Research Lounge. Productivity is essential to any profession. A researcher's jobs come with its own set of responsibilities and challenges. However, even in the face of these challenges and responsibilities, productivity needs to be maintained constantly. Another thing is that even though we follow a full-time research degree, we must balance it with our personal life. We should stay motivated. Some researchers manage their time using AI tools as well. However, some researchers are not aware of their full implications. If we know the tools that we can use to boost our research productivity, it will be a great assistant to all of you. Okay, let me introduce today's resource panel. Mr. Supun Gothama is a lecturer in the Department of Decision Sciences, Faculty of Business at the University of Moratuwa. Supun Gothama is a dynamic individual with a passion for technology and innovation. He graduated from the Department of Computer Science and Engineering in 2015 and embarked on a successful journey in the software industry before transitioning into academia. Alongside teaching, Supun is also an entrepreneur as the co-founder of a tech startup. Drawing from a diverse range of experiences, Supun brings a unique blend of practical interest, insight, and academic expertise to the table. His interests include data visualization, human-computer interactions, technology for sustainability, and enterprise applications. Our next resource person, Ms. Suresha Nilimini Perera. She is currently pursuing her Doctor of Philosophy at the University of Moratuwa and holds a Master degree in Computer Science from the University of Colombo Schools of Computing with a Bachelor's degree in Information Technology from the University of Moratuwa. Her research interests span machine learning, data analytics, natural language processing, and social network analysis with a focus of applications such as hate speech detection. Currently, she holds the position of lecturer at the Department of Computer Science within the Faculty of Natural Sciences at the Open University of Sri Lanka. Her academic journey also includes lecturing roles at the Sri Lanka Technological Campus as well. Her industry experience also encompasses positions in roles ranging from consultant to senior software engineer in reputed companies. Okay, so Mr. Supun, are there any tools to boost our research productivity? Before the discussion, shall we see why those are important to our research work?
No, to all of you. Okay, so right. So about your question, so I guess now all of us are aware of that we have to do as part of our research work, and as with anything else in our life, if you can do things the hard way, and you can do things in the smart way. So there are a lot of tools, and specifically like online web-based tools available that we can do things in a smart way and make our life easier. So we'll talk about a few of them today, and so all of them that we have chosen actually we can use for free. Some of them have like paid versions as well, but all of them you can actually use or utilize without paying anything at all, and you can actually accomplish a lot of things with them. Right. So under today's session, we have taken 4 kind of different areas to talk about as an outline. So let's look at certain tools related to note taking, then collaborative tools and version controlling, and certain things related to graphics and infographics. related tools. Right, and so I guess since this is a more of a discussion kind of a session, I guess we can expect any questions or anything if you have. So I'm all right. If anybody raises any questions at any time, right? Okay. Right. So I guess we can move on to the our first category of the tools that we are going to discuss. The note taking. So as we know, like if you are doing a research, so there will be a lot of notes to take, like from the get-go of research, and as you go on through the entire, like the life cycle of a research or a project. So there will be a lot of notes you have to take. Like if you have, like, let's say weekly whatever the research meetings, or if you are meeting with the supervisor, or maybe as a team. So there will be a lot of things that you have to note down. And it is a good practice that if you can, uh, like whenever you have a research meeting, that you keep notes of what happens and whatever the supervisor that you instructed that you have to do for the next one. So that will be a good idea that you keep at least maybe a brief set of notes. And in that regard, there are a couple of tools I want to show you. The first one is some of you may have already used it, Evernote. How so? It's kind of a note-taking plus a task management kind of a application. So you can use it to basic note-taking. But if you want to go a step ahead, you can actually do certain task management related things as well. So if I quickly show you. So this is the Evernote. You can access it from if you just Google Evernote or evernote.com, that is available. And the best thing is you can actually sign up for free, and they provide a pretty decent set of features for the free account, so you don't have to pay anything at all to get started, and unless you want of these enterprise related features, you can keep using it for free forever. And if you open an account with it, so it will look like this. So everything basically within the Evernote is so the things are actually stored as kind of folders, and within folders you can actually have different notebooks. So let's say you want to create a folder so you can organize things. Let's say whatever your project, you can basically create a folder here, and within that you can have different notes. So this folder will act like a notebook, and within the notebook you can have different notes. So maybe let's say you had a research meeting, so you may call it with whatever the date. So it depends like how you want to organize things. So there's no specific way of like right or wrong way of doing things. So maybe you want to keep a single note for all the like maybe like weekly meetings, right? So whatever you discussed, and as a part of a note, you can add things like to-do list. Let's say to a supervisor, maybe ask you to complete set of things when you come to the next meeting. So you can add them kind of like a task list. And so not all the things are available for free, obviously, but most of the stuff you can actually do within the free account. So let's say you completed one of these tasks, you just check it out. And likewise, you can have maybe another note, let's say for the next meeting. And there are even templates that you can use, like for some of the common things that are related to taking notes, like if you have a weekly plan or a daily reflection. So there are set of already defined templates you can ready-madely use. But if that's not the case, you can just define things on your own way. So that is one way you can use Evernote. And the best thing is that you can actually share these notes. Like maybe, let's say you want to share the note or the minutes or whatever the things with the supervisor. You can easily do that. So if the other person already have an account, you can enter their email here. So you can decide whether they can edit or they just want, they can only view the note. Or you can even share the thing with a public URL here. So even even if the others don't have a Evernote account, that's all right. You can send this out. So whoever has the access to the particular URL can actually view it. If you want, you can even share the entire thing, um, like the entire notebook with someone else. So you don't have to create individual notes every time you create them. So specifically, if you are working as maybe a research team, then it's a good idea that you have a notebook that is shared with everyone else. Right. So there is our first tool, Evernote. So I guess some of you might have already been using Evernote. That is primarily available as a web-based application at the evernote.com, and it is also available as a mobile application. So you can install it and maybe you can enter your notes on the go. So even if you have things to note down day-to-day basis, that's a good idea that you have it on your phone, and so that whenever you need it to have it within the accessible length. Right. So as I reminded you earlier as well, if you have any questions, you can raise at any time, or if you want to maybe discuss something about it, that's I'm all right with it. And the next tool, mostly similar to Evernote, is the from the Google set of products, Google Keep. Um, so it's again a note-taking application that is provided for free as part of the entire Google sort of products. So that is available on the web under the URL keep.google.com. So it has a more kind of a simple user interface compared to Evernote. But the basic idea is the same. So you basically have a set of different notes. Whenever you have something to take note of, you just put a title, say, and you keep a note of that. And again, there are different things that you can add to a note here. You can add images. You can change background settings and add labels. And you can even add reminders. Like, let's say, if the note contains something that you have to do, and maybe you want to have a reminder tomorrow, so you can add a reminder here. And again, you can add collaborators, or you can share the thing with other people. So since almost everyone has a Google account, then you can easily share it with someone else's Google Gmail account, so they get automatically access to whatever the node that you created. And one thing special about Google Keep is now it is available as an integrated part of Gmail as well. If you open Gmail, on the right hand side, there's a small toolbar with a couple of icons, and one of them is the Google Keep. So even as you browse your emails, if there's something that you want to take note of, you can simply open the sidebar on the right hand side of Gmail, and maybe simply copy something from the email and into one of your notes, right? And if it is something that you have to do, maybe you can keep a reminder. And on the other hand, if there's a reminder and all the notes are accessible from your Gmail within the same interface as well. And again, you can categorize or like kind of organize things under different labels here. So not the same as folders, but you can give a label for your notes from here. Let's say if it is something related to your work or research, then you just keep the label here, and that will be available under the labels here. So it's kind of similar to how you label your emails under different things. So it's the same concept here as well. So compared to Evernote, again, Google Keep is much more simpler, but you can almost accomplish the same set of tasks. And it has the added advantage of that it is part of the Google set of products. So naturally, it is integrated with other Google products as well. So I personally I use Google Keep whenever I want to keep a note of something. Uh, like whenever when I see an interesting, let's say a web page or something, I just keep a note of that in Google Keep. So whenever I need it, I can simply search it and find it out. And whenever I use uh, things to share with others, I prefer to use Evernote because it has lot of some more features compared to Google Keep. But it's again totally up to you uh, which one you want to use. And so these are not the only tools available. If you want to keep note of something, there are a ton of other different tools available. Maybe you can use one of them. So it's best that you maybe stick into one of the tools, and so that all of your nodes or whatever the things are available at a single place. Otherwise, the issue would be that whenever you want to find something, you will have to go and look at it in a few different products or two different applications, which would again create another problem, right? So maybe since there is a discussion, do any of you already use a note-taking application, Evernote, Keep, or something else? The thing is, like, so although we named this today's session as tool for research productivity, almost all of these applications that we discuss, you can actually use for a lot of other things as well, even to improve your productivity on your day-to-day tasks or at your workplace. So for anything, you can basically use them, and so it is not restricted to research work. Okay. So anything anyone want to maybe have a discussion on, or anything you want to ask? Um, I guess we can continue. So the next tool I want to discuss, that's called MindMeister. Uh, it's a kind of different, although I have categorized it under note taking. So this is basically an online tool. So it is called a mind mapping application or mind mapping tool that allows you to visualize and share your thoughts. So as you get ideas, you can use MindMeister to kind of store them in a visually presentable way. So this is a good tool if you want to maybe plan some of your research work, or let's say you want to plan or outline something that you are writing, a thesis, paper, report, or whatever the thing. So again, MindMeister is a so this is a MindMeister. You go to their website. So this one is also available for free, and so as we call it, it is a premium application, meaning you can use it for free, but with a limited set of features. If you want more, you can upgrade to their premium account as well. But with the free account, you can actually accomplish a lot of things. So the idea of MindMeister is basically so whenever you have some kind of an idea, you can keep developing that. So you can basically create mind maps. So that the primary focus of MindMeister. But you can also create certain other related charts kind of things as well. So let me show you one of the mind maps I created with MindMeister. So this is for a portfolio that I wrote as part of my what do you call the certificate of teaching that all the academics lecturers have to go through. So it has a very simple interface. So basically, when you have a node, you can keep adding things as a child or maybe siblings. So let's say if you want to plan something as part under these topic teaching strategy learning theories. So I may enter something like rooms, and I can keep adding other nodes under it. So it's best that you kind of create a mind map before you start working on something, especially like maybe at the beginning of your research, or maybe different paths you want to explore as part of your research, or different maybe things you want to try out, or if it is something that you are writing, especially a report, thesis, or a paper, maybe you can have a kind of outline first. So whenever you get a idea, you just enter it here before actually start working on it. And as you go through working on the thing, you can actually modify it as you want. And again, with all the other tools, there's the option to share whatever you create. So maybe if you want to share your mind map with your supervisor or the other members of your research team, you can enter their emails if they already have a MindMest account. Or again, you can get the publicly shareable URL as well from here. So even if the other person does not have a MindMest account, you can share it, but they will only be able to view since they don't have an account. But if you are sharing with an account, you can decide what they can do with it. Whether they can also collaboratively edit, or they can only view. So if you're working as a part of a research team, then it's a good idea that you have everybody the edit access, so that concurrently or at the same time, all of you can keep adding to the mind map. Maybe you have a brainstorming session, so you keep adding things. And another aspect is so even if it is not for brainstorming, maybe if you want to have a nice visual that you want to insert one into one of your before or a thesis, you can actually use this because it looks what you get at the end is a very nice looking visual. So maybe as a visualization tool, you can use it as well, although it is not the kind of intended purpose of the tool. So that's all right. You can use it if you feel like it.
Mr. Supun,
Yes.
one of our researchers has posted questions to chatline. Can you check it? Or shall we?
Okay. So there's a question: is there any tool to maintain Gantt charts? So if you want to create Gantt charts, there should be a lot of tools available online. So let me quickly check a couple of them. So this is one of them, Instagant. So it has that project management aspects as well. So basically, what you expect from a Gantt chart, you can create it as a part of a project, invite your team, and add the different tasks that are part of it, and maybe set the timelines.
Is that paid version, Mr. Supun?
Um, it looks like, yeah, I don't think they provide a free version. So let's see something else. So there's another one called Team Gantt. So it has a free plan, limited one, but for a small project, I guess that would be more than enough. So there's a free plan with one manager and two collaborators. So that means you can only create one project and you have 60 up to 60 tasks for free. So if it is a more of a small scale project, you can use it for free. And if you want to do kind of project management kind of things, that would be our next section actually, when you want to do things collaboratively. So we'll come across several tools there as well. And there's another one called Gantt project. It's a downloadable project product, not an online one. So you can download it, and so it's basically a desktop application that you have to download and install. That is also available as a free tool. Right. So we'll continue to our next section, collaborative tools. So these are a set of tools that I want to talk about. So most of the time, so a lot of you may be working as a part of a research group or a team. So you might not be doing an individual research. So maybe you are doing a part of a bigger research project, or if you are a supervisor, maybe you have a few research students to manage. So I know some of the academics who have like 10 plus research students that they manage. And so in that kind of situation, so you will need some kind of a uh, collaborative work environment. So basically that means what you are doing has to, the others has to be aware, or maybe the others depend on what you do as a maybe part of their research. So you need some kind of collaboration. So in that situation, there are few tools that we can utilize to make it more productive. So the first one would be Trello. So it is a kind of a visual tool that allows a team to manage any type of a project workflow, and it has the advantage of tracking different tasks. So this is the workspace for Trello. So it has a very simple concept. So what you have in basically with Trello is you can create a board, and within a board you can have any number of lists. So you can basically have a list. So it is quite flexible. You can utilize these lists to basically do it- anything, whatever the way you want. So now with this one, I have created a 3 list: to do, doing, and done. So that is kind of in the way of these Kanban uh, tool kind of approach, where I have one list for the task that I have to do, and if I'm doing something, then that is this list, and when the things are completed, that would be the done list, or maybe you completed or whatever. So there's no restriction as to how you have to do it. So let's say if you want to use it as a to keep track of the notes, then you can maybe create a, let's say, a list, research ideas, and under the list you can have several cards. So card represent a kind of a unit of information here, and a card is going to belongs to a particular list that you created it. And as part of a card, you can have can keep notes, or you can add a checklist similar to an Evernote. Let's say there's task 1 to be done, and so on. And you can complete the task as you go on. And the best thing is you can even share or assign things to other members. So this is a collaborative tool. You can actually add other members to your board from here. So you can specify the other members' emails who have a Trello account. And once you share it, so this entire board will be shared with the others. So then it becomes a collaborative working space. So let's say you this particular thing, right? So this is, if it is related to some other member, you may assign it by specifying their name here. So then they will get a notification that you have this particular card to take care of. And you can even set due dates, like if it is a task that has to be completed within a time frame, then you can set a due date. You can attach other documents. You can have labels. And if something, let's say, if it is a card that is going to be have a common kind of a structure, you can make it a template from here so that you don't have to create the same structure again and again. You can reuse it whenever you create another task. Let's create another task from here. And maybe let's say assume that it is assigned to someone else. And once someone is, so in this case, when I'm using it as a like a project management Kanban kind of thing, whoever is doing the task, they can drag and drop it into another list. So in this case, if I have a work in progress kind of a list, so then that will be added to here. And once they complete it, they can drag and drop it to the done list. So everybody who has access to this board is aware of what is the state of the other things going on. So again, it is not the only way. So the Trello is quite flexible. So you have the freedom of creating these lists whatever the way you want. So, and there are a few templates as well. So if you want to use it in a Kanban kind of way, so there are templates. You can directly create a board using that approach. Or if it is something else, let's say project management, or let's say if you are teaching something, weekly planning, so there will be a different template for that. So in this case, in a weekly plan, so they have created a list for each week. So maybe as part of your research work, if you want to have things, let's say on a monthly or a weekly basis, and then maybe you may create a list for in a time-based approach. So again, it's totally up to you how you want to do it. Right. The next tool is called ClickUp. So again, it is a cloud-based collaboration and project management tool, which can be used by a team to manage a kind of a project, or even if you use it individually, that can be quite productive and useful. So this is use of ClickUp. Again, it's a free tool. And Trello is also a freely available. Free in the sense that they have free plan as well. So ClickUp also have a free plan. Um, we actively use ClickUp within our department to manage certain work. Like so in ClickUp, basically, let's say for a project, you can create a workspace, and within that you can have again individual spaces for different things. Like in this case, I have a few things spaces created for our department work, like academic, administrative, and other uh, things. So let's say if you have something underneath this, so again within a space you can have an organization of folders. Let's say I create a folder for research here, and within a folder you can have a set of lists. So the basic element of ClickUp is basically you have a list of any kind of thing. So let's say you have a list for the papers that you have to read. Then within the list, you can create set of tasks, like list items. So these items can be treated or sort of as a task if you want, but they don't have to be. So let's say I have paper one, paper two, and so on. You can actually assign these to different people. So like here. So first you will have to add other people who are working on the same project or who belong to the same research team as members. And then you can assign them here, and you can set due dates. So when the due date is coming, whoever the assignee will automatically get email notifications, and they will have their notification on the dashboard here as well. So they will be reminded that you have to do this before this particular date. And as part of a item here, you can add again a note, or you may have a set of subtask as a to-do list. and so on. And the set of these items, you can by default it will looks like a list of items, but you can look at these items in different perspectives. Like you can get a board kind of way, like if you uh, there's a way that you have to specify, like you have to configure it. What are the different states an item within let's say for this particular list, you can configure from the settings what are the status a particular item can be in. So by default, it will have a to do and complete states. So then the Kanban board will look like this. So when I have completed the task, I can just drag and drop it here. Or there are different other views, like if there's a date related column or a field, you can look at it as a calendar or as a Gantt chart, timeline, and a lot of other ways. So the same set of items, different perspectives. For example, here, so let me show you a list that we created for sort of different modules that we had exams for. So when we look at it in the board view, so they will have this particular view because we have configured few different state for a particular module. It can be in to do, exam, held, grading, results sent, and so on. And we can actually see an activity log for recent activities when someone, let's say, goes and modify a task, or when they change the state, let's say from to do to done or whatever, there will be an activity log that is recorded here. So everyone who's working on the same project, they can view it, so they can have an idea what is going on within the project. So that is about ClickUp. So from personal experience, that is a very good tool to use if you are into working as a team or project. And their free plan is quite generous, so you can accomplish a lot of things. And in addition, there are few other things like you can create notes with this as well, and even documents. You can have whiteboards, like whenever you have a kind of a brainstorming session or whatever. So ClickUp actually combines a few different things, like so it's like a combination of all the other things that we discussed. Right. So the next thing um, I want to discuss is actually version controlling. So this might be a familiar topic for people who are into computer science and IT, but for others, they might not be very familiar with it. So the idea is now, as a part of research or something, if you have a set of files that are going to be changed over the time, how are you going to keep track of what has been changed over the time? Right. So let's say a particular document that you are writing, maybe your thesis. So it will keep changing over the time, right? So over the months. So if you want to keep track of something that was changed a month ago, with a simple document, you will not be able to do that. So that is where this version controlling comes very handy. And specifically, again, if you have few people working on the same file, right, or a document or whatever the thing, or a source code, then again it creates a problem who changed what part of it. So that is something you can use to keep track of all the things. So for version controlling, you can utilize an open source tool called JIT. So these are very commonly used among developers and people who are into computer science. So they manage their source codes using JIT or a similar version control system. So I'll just briefly tell about JIT because it's not a simple tool like the other one that I explained earlier. So you will have to utilize certain command line to do certain things. So basically, whenever you make a change, you can ask Jade to take a kind of a snapshot of it, and it will keep track of that version. So when after a while, when you make another change, you can again ask Jade to take another snapshot. So as you go on, there will be a history of the file at certain points in the time. So you can at any time refer to a previous version of these files. And if there are multiple people, it will keep track of who made which change at which position of the file as well. Right. So if something is not right, you can always go back to a previous version. Or if something is wrong, you can find out who made that change and maybe for which purpose and so on. And then again, like if you want to publish your work, especially if you are working on a software or like a code related project, and if you are okay with publicly sharing your code, you can use this GitHub platform which supports the Git version controlling. So you can create a repository there for free. By default it will be public, but you can create private repositories as well if you have things that you don't want to share with the world. That's all right. And you can add other collaborators into your repository. So all of you can work on the same project by committing things into a GitHub repository. So GitHub is also free, and Git is anyway an open source project. And GitHub is a free platform that hosts Git repositories now owned by Microsoft. And it's a good platform if you especially want to share the things like at the end of your research work project. Let's say if you want someone, maybe the rest of the world to continue on where you left. So maybe just create a GitHub repository and upload your codes and whatever the things they are, and maybe have a kind of a documentation so the other people can get an idea what you have done and what else is to be there to be done.
Mr. Supun,
Yes.
Then for the next part, shall we invite Ms. Suresha to share her experience? Ms. Suresha,
Yes.
these days you are engaged in research with your PhD. So then as a researcher, have you used these kind of tools to boost your research productivity so far?
Yes, I have been actively using several tools to enhance my research productivity during my research studies. So one is, so I will share some of the experiences that I have with you all. So one is reference management software. There are many software like for the reference management, such as Mentally, Sotero. So I'm a fan of Sotero, so I am using Sotero for my citation work, and also using some of the data analytics tools such as Python and R. And also, like as Mr. Supun explained, I'm using some of the collaborative and communication tools such as Google Workplace. So, and also some of the visualization tools. So let me share some of the visualization tools that I'm using currently now. So I will share my screen with you all, the graphic tools. So before heading to the graphic tools, so let's see what are the common challenges that we are facing when we are engaging with the research activities. The first one is the data visualization. So we need to find some ways to present our findings in a very clear and a concise and visually appealing way. So it is a challenge. And the second one is the document design part. So when we are when we are writing research papers, they are not only the content rich, but also they should be visually appealing. So it is a real challenge. So we need to have some readers' interest throughout the paper by including some of the relevant figures and the tables, and also some of the images. The next one is visual storytelling. So it is very important to remember. So when you engage in research, it is not just presenting your data. So it is about telling a compelling story to the audience. So incorporating visuals into your research is really important. So one of the graphic tools that we have for the visual representation is Canva. So it is a versatile and a user-friendly graphic design tool. During your research, you collect a lot of information as well as new complex findings. But you need to communicate with them in an engaging way and a very clear way to whatever the audience you have. So that is really important, and it plays a major role in your research. Even though you have performed your research 100% accurately, but you need to communicate your findings very clearly and a very attractive manner to the audience. So let's see how Canva can help us to achieve that goal. So there are so many features that inbuilt with the Canva. So with the time, I will explain few of them. So it can represent data visually. So during your research, we often work with big data set. So Canva make it very easy for you to create some eye-catching graphics as well as infographics, as explained by Mr. Supun. So, as we are research students, sometimes we have to create, not sometimes, most of the time we have to create professional posters as well as professional presentations. So when you are contributing your research point to the research community, you have to prepare for the research conferences. So the Canva is a very eye-catching tool where you can create some posters and also the presentation slides. When you are writing the thesis and formatting your research paper, again, this plays a vital role. So as Supun mentioned that you can do things harder or you can do things very easily. So it is your choice to do some of the collaborative tools and some of the graphic tools. Maybe there are a lot of tools. You can get use of them rather than doing things very hard. So,
Suresha, are there resources or tutorials available for more in-depth learning about Canva capabilities?
Yes, there are a lot of tutorials available. In the Canva itself, you can have some of the tutorials like Canva's Design School, as well as there are a lot of videos available within the YouTube as well. And also there is a help center within the Canva as well. You can use it as well. And there are so many community forums as well. So if you want any information, you can just go browse them. So I think it's better I'll go through the go to the platform and show you some of the practicals. This is the Canva website. So here you have the dashboard. I think you all can see the this is the very first view that you can see once you log into the Canva. And also here you can manage your projects. There are two types of projects. One is your own projects and the project shared by your friends, maybe your collaborators. So I'll show you my working space. There are some of my recent projects that I have created, and also there are some of the collaborative projects. Those are some of my team members, and I am collaborating with them. And if you want to collaborate, you can share them. So you can just share your folder with them, and you can add your the email, and you can invite your friends. And also the next important thing is there are a lot of frameworks, there are a lot of templates available within the Canva where you can readily use them. So let's see one example. Say that you want to create a one infographic. So let's take this template. Here, if you want, you can change the color. And for example, let's say we are working on some of the non-communicable diseases. So you can create your own banner or whatever the infographic you want. And here, let's say we have diabetics. This image is not relevant to the diabetics. So you can remove this image and you can find elements over here. So whatever the image you want, you can take it. So let's take one of them. And if you want to change this content, definitely you need to adjust the content according to the infographic you are going to create according to your project. So you have to change it. And also, let's say we have another disease like non-communicable disease, heart diseases. So you can remove this. And you can add. There are many images where you can select according to your color theme. So here, only for the demonstration purposes, I have selected one of them. And also you can have the ability to change the color. So if you want, you can change the color. So like this. And also here, if you want to change the color of the text, again, you can change it. So you have all the facilities to change the banner or the infographic, whatever the way you want. And so you can download it as an image, or else you can have it as a PDF format, JPG, PNG, whatever the format you want, you can download it easily, very easily. And also I will show you some of the, for an example, if you want to share your content within the social media platform, you have to create some of the advertisement. Maybe you have to share your project within the community. So you can create social media images. So here you can select whether you are going to create it for the Instagram, whether you are going to create it for the Facebook, or maybe whether you are going to create it for the LinkedIn. So whatever the format, you can select over there. And I'll show you one example. So this is one of the advertisement that I have created. So you can have your own design within the Canva, and also maybe you can create videos as well. For an example, I'll show you. When you are creating some of the videos, you have to have your voice. For that, you can use like voice maker. So it is again going to be a AI tool. So this is how Canva is helping for you to create your own designs. So I think with the time limitations, I will not explain further about the Canva. So if you have any questions, you can raise now.
Again, shall we discuss the graphic tools with Mr. Supun?
Yes, and also I think I'm extremely sorry. There is another graphic tool that I want to tell you, that is Graphicto. So I'm very happy to tell you that the Graphicto is managed by Mr. Supun. It is his own tool. I think I would like to have his viewpoints about that graphic tool with our research launch today. Mr. Supun, how it is working. So could you please share your experience with Graphicto?
Hello, yes, for sure. So Graphicto is basically an infographic and what we call as a smart visuals maker. And so now most of you might have seen that like infographic is kind of a trend nowadays, that whenever you want to visually present something, that you create a infographic rather than just giving the whatever the thing as it's just basic text. So in that case, you can use Graphicto. So I'll quickly show you. So you can access it at graphicto.com. So you can basically create charts, timelines, or let's say list of items, processes, cycle, and a lot of different things. And again, you can use it for free as well. There's a paid plan. If you want to have more templates. So let me show you when you log in, again, you can create a free account. This is the dashboard that you are going to get. So there are a lot of different templates, already created templates for different kind of visuals. So let's say if you have a list of items that you want to visualize as an infographic, there are different templates for that. Or if it is a process that you want to, maybe as part of your research, that whatever the process that you develop, if you want to present it in a nice way, you can use one of them. Or if it is a cycle, or if it is a chart. So there are different charts like bar charts and these pie charts. So all of them that has a nice visual appearance, or if it's a timeline. So let me quickly show you maybe one example. So let's say I have a set of items that I want to visually present. So let me choose this template. Now the the important thing with graphic though is unlike other tools, graphic tools where you have a ready-made template then that you edit it, this is more dynamic. So basically you can keep adding items and it will automatically change. So it is not that you copy a set of items and you make duplicates of it. So most of the time then if you are okay with the available set of items in the template, that you are fine. But if you need more items, then you need to have more work from your end. So for example, let's say I want to visual present certain percentages here. So let's do something like this. So all these fields are like editable. You can enter the things from here and you can add icons from here as well. So let's assume these are some research findings that you present at the discussion part of your paper or whatever. So you can find a matching icon related to whatever you want to tell. And as a second item, let's say, so there are a lot of predefined icons available here. So you can choose any of them as you want. So as you can see, it's very easy to create something like this within a couple of minutes. So you have a nice looking infographic that you can add to your paper, thesis, or maybe your presentation. So you have different options, like you can change the color theme. So there are sort of predefined color palettes if you are not happy with the default one. Or you can create your own one as well, custom color palette from here. You can change the fonts. And at the end, you can actually download it as a PNG or SVG with transparent background, and if you need high resolution, that is also possible, especially if it is going to be in a printable media. You can have it in a vector format like SVG or with a high resolution PNG file. And you can also share it with you can share it directly with the social media, so you can take the shareable link from here and provide it to whoever you want to get access into it. So that is how graphic tool works. So very easy, very customizable infographics within like few minutes. And again, if you want to change it, like let's say you initially selected a template, but you are not happy with it, maybe you figure out you need something else, that's all right. You can change this to something else. Let's say if I want to change it to this template, so just select it from here. So as long as the text and the things are accommodatable, that will be converted into a different template. So again, it's a free tool. The only limitation would be the free account will have a set of templates. So the premium account will have access to all the templates. So only minor limitation. Other than that, you can pretty much do most of the things. Right. So that's all we wanted to share with you today. So we discussed about few different categories of productivity tools and note-taking, collaborative tools, version controlling, as well as some graphic and infographics related tools.
Mr. Supun,
Yes.
a question. Sometimes we have to present our research output in an effective way. So here you have discussed so many tools to boost our research productivity. So when we discuss we want to present our research in an effective way, any tools to aid that?
Well, one approach would be the Canva tool Suresha mentioned. You can create presentations with Canva as well. So as a single tool, I guess Canva can be used to present things in a lot of different ways, like if it is social medias or if you want to create a poster, even presentation or even a video. So Canva can actually accommodate all of the options.
Thank you. Okay. Dear researchers, collaboration and networking at the research lounge will help you exchange ideas, information, resources, feedback, and support. So you can boost your research productivity by collaborating and networking with our resource panel. Then you can boost your research productivity. So then apply this knowledge, what we have discussed, what we have learned so far. So dear research panelists, thank you so much for the informative session and nice presentation. Then, dear researchers, let me wind up today's session. We'll have another fruitful discussion in the next research lab. Goodbye. Thank you.